If we call play life optimization instead, I bet you every single CEO would be on it. Everybody and a mama would be on it like a horny dog. It would be trendy AF, right? Like meditation. So, I don't think we should call it life optimization, but I'm going to tell you how play will optimize your life. Check it out. And I'm going to get real clinical. I don't like to be clinical. Like, that's not really my jam. I'm more of a, like, in there, like, swimwear type of person. But I know that y'all want to hear, like, the hard facts. So, here we go. So, play is not a behavior. It is a mindset. It is a state of being, so to speak. So it's not like, oh, I'm riding a bike, so I'm playing. If you're riding a bike, you could be doing it with a playful mindset. You could be doing it playfully, or you could not be, right? So that's what I mean by play. And when, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a better grasp on what it is to play. So why and how does it optimize your life then, right? Well, it allows you to rewire your brain. So let me go into the neurological part of this. And I'm not a neurologist. Okay, I'm a thespian. So I'm not that person. But I'm not stupid and I can read. So I've done a lot of reading. And what happens is our brains, especially if you live like in the Western civilization, or even like a country or a culture where productivity is seen as the most valuable versus like anything else. And play is productive too, but let me not get off track. Okay, I'm trying to be like in this video, so you can get it. So our brains are designed to keep us safe, right? Survival of the fittest, all that. And our brains can sense danger real easily. Most of the time, we're not in any danger, but that's why anxiety is here a lot in this culture. I live in the United States. I can't tell by my accent. And we live in a constant state of danger. Now, are there dangerous places? Yes, like especially right now in 2026 in February, yes. But I mean, we think it's dangerous to just be ourselves out here. Like, it's a social risk. And back in the day, like thousands and thousands of years ago, a social risk could get you killed. Because now you get kicked out the tribe, or you don't find a mate, or, you know, something like that will happen, and now you get left in the wilderness, and then you die by a saber-toothed tiger or something. That is the risk of social isolation back then. Nowadays, we don't have that kind of social risk, you know, but it's still embedded in us. And play is very risque when it comes to social. Yes, in the status quo and things like that. Status is big out here, right? Being in a pressured situation, we're often in a pressurized situation. So when you play, you can't fail. So that's off the table. There's no failing involved in play. You can't, it's impossible to fail. There's only data, or there's, you know, something you learn or about the game or whatever, but you can, you know, start the game over, like try again, you know, like a video game. You can't fail. So that's one of the first things play does for us, is kind of make our brains more flexible, because we tend to be real rigid. We take ourselves very seriously. And it hurts. It hurts to feel pressure all day, every day. It hurts to feel like a failure all day, every day. And you don't even know why you feel this way, because you forget that you can play. We're not trained. We're trained to neglect play. Even as children, you know, you get told to sit down, shut up, stop playing. Especially if you're African American like me, you get told stop playing a lot. And that means something over time. So when you play, you actually reduce the stress hormones in your body. That's one. So that's productive. You want to be productive, right? So that's one. Two, you rewire your brain for safety. So now you feel safe in these situations. You're not worried about being a social outcast because no one cares about you that much to outcast you. I mean, if they do, they don't need to be in your social, like your social circle or whatever anyway. Even at work, if you are a valuable employee at work and you're afraid to be yourself, then how valuable are you? You know what I mean? Like, are you being as valuable as you can be? And I don't even mean just your work, but just your presence at work means something to people, right? If you work at a place where you are talking to people, if you work in a place where you're talking to your employees, that kind of stuff does matter. Or maybe you don't want to talk to your employees, but you do anyway and you feel awful about it, right? And then your next start, and then also play relieves tension in your body. So your jaw, you ever feel tense in your jaw and your neck and your shoulders and your back and your knees and your feet and your ankles, right? All these joint issues that can be resolved through play because you release the tension in your body. That's productive. No? You're more creative. That brings value. That's productive. Especially if you have a creative type job, if you work in business, if you work in marketing, if you work in the arts, if you work as a developer, right? You need to have some sort of creativity. You bring more ideas to the table. You can ideate better because you're not afraid to speak about what is actually, in your brain that might be helpful or might inspire someone else to think of something that is the answer y'all need. So it's not just that. It makes dating easier. I think people take each other way too seriously, as well as themselves. And so dating, and you can even, there's research that's been done on this. People ask, what's the most, like sexy or attractive trait in somebody? And a lot of people say humor or like playfulness. But so many people don't have playfulness. So is this a fantasy that we wish people had in the dating pool? I'm married. So, and I got married because I became more playful. It's true. It connects you to people, so you have more of a connection. When you start to develop a playful mindset, you're not worried about being awkward and you can just talk and be yourself. And if it does get awkward, it's like, okay, it's like, all right, we'll move past this awkward moment into a different one and it's all right. Yeah, it's just like your dating connections, your relationships with your family, your kids. I've met some people who don't even want to play with their kids. Like, they don't know how to play with their kids. Like, they don't know how to just like be silly with their kids, or they don't know how to play imaginative games with their kids. You know what I mean? Especially like toddlers. So then that's going to get passed down to the kids. So if you're always pressing yourself to be a certain way, you're going to do that to your kid. You're going to press that person to be a certain way, and then it's going to be a generational take in of pressure, stress, and tension. And that is not how you build wealth. I mean, maybe it's how you build. I mean, what do you define as wealth, right? And is it worth it? But that is how you die early. That's how you get sick. That's how you don't get seen. That's how you don't get heard. That's how you lose out on precious moments with the people you care about. Play is life optimization. Look up Dr. Stuart Brown. Google him. And he'll show you all this clinical stuff, because I don't really like talking about this clinical stuff. I can, but it starts to get real sticky. So he'll do a better job of it. if you read his stuff. He has a lot of information out there. He's been researching play for about 50 years now. He's retired, but it's out there. So I suggest you look and see how important play is for adults. It's not trendy yet, but it should be, because it's just as important as eating and sleeping. If sleeping repairs your tissues and eating fuels your cells, play fuels and repairs your nervous system. Okay? Take play seriously.